TCU, they've proven so many people wrong. They've surprised so many people. They shouldn't be here, but they deserve to be here. Both teams are going to be looking at their tapes, see what they could do to get better. TCU, the way they play against Michigan offensively is the exact same way they got to do it on this game against Georgia. Ohio State gave Georgia a scare, but Georgia, as we know it, they're not going anywhere. They're going to fight till the end. And this group they have a championship pedigree. They will fight and scratch till the end. I really, 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 really want TCU to win, but I'm gonna say Georgia will win this game. However, I'm I'm picking this game to be close. I fear that could be lopsided, but I'm picking it close. Georgia winning 32-27 over TCU. I really hope, I really, really hope that I'm proven wrong and that TCU will some way somehow win this game. But TCU to win this game, they will have to play great from start to finish, both offensively and defensively. What do you say about that?
I agree with you, Miguel, because TCU has proved the entire season that they belong in the college playoff picture. And you're right, they don't belong there. Being a Big 12 school, mostly the playoff has been dominated by the SEC, but TCU has proven themselves. They went undefeated. Their lone loss is the overtime thriller, which I think is probably a top 5 game of the year with Kansas State University. But if you want to give the discussion of who deserved to be in the playoff more, TCU deserved it more than Ohio State. Granted, Ohio State got in there and their game versus Georgia was very good, but we saw, last Saturday night, they had a chance to pull away. They had a chance to, put that dagger in Georgia and they just couldn't do it. But I agree with you. I think those of us, in the United States, we do love an underdog. We love it. In sports, especially over this past week, sports has brought us together. And I think these young men are going to see the same thing from the fans that show up to the fans that are going to be on social media rooting for them, whichever team they side with, whether they're an alumnus, whether they're a former player, whether they just like college football in general. We are going to give these young men the support they deserve at this stage. And you're right, Georgia is the favorite. They are going to try to be the first team to go back to back in the college playoff era. And that 72% point favorite, that seems like a lot, but I'm going to go all in with TCU on this. I've been looking at articles, I've been kind of looking on social media, to see, what other analysts are saying, just to kind of see what the feel is for both teams. TCU is going to go, needs to start the same game plan they did with Michigan. They need to strike fast. They need to strike hard. They're going to need to score, and they're going to need to take all these opportunities to score on both sides of the ball with their offense and their defense. Max Duggan is a rock star right now. The Heisman Trophy runner-up, he is a rock star. His players are going to look to him to make those key players, and he is going to trust his players, whether it be throwing the ball, whether it be handing off the ball. they're going to do it, and he's going to be there for them. Their defense, I think the defense for TCU is going to be the key, just like it's probably going to be the defense for Georgia to try and stay in the game. I agree with you. I don't want it to be lopsided because I think that's what we've seen from Georgia all year. They have just beaten up everybody. We saw it at the beginning of the season with Oregon. We've seen it with multiple teams. Missouri tried, but they just couldn't finish it out. I'm going all in with TCU on this. If it's gonna be lopsided, it might be, a lopsided surprise, I think, with TCU, because I think TCU has all the boxes checked. They have everything going for them. But I hope it's going to be close. I agree with you. I hope it's going to be close. They have the over-under being 63. I think it's going to be higher, like the Michigan game. I'm going to say 40-38. I'm going to say this is going to be a high-scoring game, but still close. But I'm going all in with TCU. I think, like I said, this entire week has been, monumental when it comes to sports and bring everyone together. And when it comes to underdogs, we love an underdog. And I think this is the story that everyone can get behind. TCU 40-38.
Georgia could be the first team since Alabama 2011, 2012 to go back to back as national champions. Max Duggan, he's a gamer. I know what he could bring to the table. I feel that the one player that could be an X factor for TCU is DeMarcado. He could be X factor for them. TCU, they could be this season's version of the 2002 Ohio State Buckeyes, in the sense that the Miami Hurricanes, they were supposed to go back to back. Georgia's in this position, they were supposed to go back to back, but Ohio State ended up beating Miami Hurricanes in that title game, which is still controversial to this day of that ending. But I look at TCU as the 2002 Ohio State Buckeyes, that they could write this particular script. I feel that TCU and Georgia, they're evenly matched in this game from both offensively and defensively. I feel that their TCU's defense is overlooked because they're focused too much on what they do on offensively. And but like I said, TCU Georgia, I won't be mad if Georgia wins. I really won't. But I feel that it'll be a much better story if TCU wins this game. So, and we haven't seen a Texas team play in the national title game since 2009. So it's always great to see something new and fresh in college football or in any sport. But I'm looking forward to this game. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. Like I said, even though I'm picking Georgia to win, but deep down I want TCU to win. So, God, if you can hear me, I hope hopefully that happens.
I agree with you, Miguel. There's something about being the underdog that we love. And TCU bringing that the entire season, being undefeated, having these great games when the possibility of being undefeated, is looming away. And it's interesting. I had a talk with a friend. Since the inception of the college football, it's been Oklahoma that's always been in the playoff at the preseason, but only one other time have they made it. And you're right, this is the first Texas team to be in the playoff, and it's great. I think it's a great thing for Texas. I think it's a great thing for TCU as well. But when you have this scope on a national scale, it's playing at SoFi Stadium, which is a great stadium in Los Angeles. You don't want it to be lopsided. You want both teams to give all they have. And it's going to be a great night for football on a Monday night. And this also showcases that these small schools, even the small private schools, when the college playoff starts to expand, this is where the excitement of college football is going to be enhanced. Because if you have a Big 12 school like TCU pulling this upset, if you will, and then you have these other schools that are going to recruit, you're going to have these other players that now have this entire scope of where they can take their talents. Just like we've seen Deion Sanders now go to Colorado, you now have a lot of players that want to play at schools, and for coaches, not so much to win the title, but they want to better themselves. And we're going to see that in the next couple of years when it comes to players choosing a school, not only for the option to be better players, but for that chance at a college national title. And it's going to be fantastic. In the next couple of years, we're going to see some great football. And these young men deserve all the attention we can give them.
I agree. As for our listeners, viewers, we're gonna have one more episode of College Football Time with Favorite Miguel, which will be recording tomorrow in the aftermath. No, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is Monday. Tuesday, yes, Tuesday. Tuesday, since tomorrow night is the championship game. So on Tuesday will be the final episode of College Football Time with Favorite Miguel, in which we're gonna give our reaction of the TCU Georgia game. So stick around for that. But we definitely will be back next season. This is not a one and done situation. We will be back next year to talk about college football. But for those of you who are following us, stay tuned for our content on Tuesday, as we will be talking about the aftermath of TCU Georgia.
Miguel, I said earlier in the season, I really want to thank you for allowing me to do this, to be a part of your platform and the possibility of doing more for myself as a content creator. And Miguel said it right. This isn't a one and done. This season has been really great, and I hope next season is going to be even better.